What's up, guys? Today we're going to cover my kit and the kit that I brought to Ukraine the 2 times that I went, and what I wish I would have brought instead of some of the stuff that I did bring. And I'll post links to everything that I brought and what I think you should take down in the description below, hopefully, if I can figure that out. Since I have this already, I'll show you guys my helmet. This is actually the only piece of my kit that I brought back from Ukraine with me as like a memento. I left everything else, my carrier, literally everything I left there with the guys that stayed there. But this helmet here, Vegas, this helmet here is an ops core. The ops core was kind of the gold standard out there. It seemed like most people had a fast helmet ops core if they did have one. They didn't have like Ukrainian issued. Most people who brought their own had an ops core. And I have, these are called Earmore, like armor, but Earmore. Again, I'll have links to these down below. They have, comms, cable. I mean, these are nice. They were good for multiple reasons, including just keeping your ears warm in the winter, which is kind of silly, but this was my helmet. And, all right, let's move on. So my plate carrier, I ended up with like 3 different plate carriers throughout my time in Ukraine. The first one I initially bought, I had it shipped to me with plates, with level 4 plates, shipped to me at my apartment. And when it arrived, somebody went into the mail room, ripped it out of the box, and stole my carrier and my 4+ plates, a front and a back plate. Crazy. So I ended up getting to Ukraine, and then they have a bunch of these little military stores around the towns like Lviv and Kyiv and Kharkiv. And I ended up buying an MTAC. I have it pulled up here. It's called an MTAC, which was a very popular brand out there. QRS. I'll show you. Well, here, there's pictures already right here. This was probably perfect. It only covered, right here. There's no stomach or coverage or anything like that. And this was a lot of mobility. It was easy to use. Only thing I didn't love about it was those elastic straps where the mags go, because they just get fumbly. So I removed those. Plus, you can double stack mags in those pouches, so it was tight enough to not need those bands around it. But this was pretty solid. It doesn't come with pockets for side plates, but you can purchase pockets separately to put soft armor for side plates on there. Again, before I move on, I want to be very clear. I am no spec ops soldier. I had no military career until I went to Ukraine. This is just stuff that I used while I was out there, stuff that I saw was very efficient, very useful, and that a lot of people were using. So take that into consideration. I'm no John Wick, okay? But the plate carrier I used the most and saw the most action was this one here in these 2 pictures. I know it's kind of hard to see here, and I, for the life of me, cannot remember the name of it or the brand, but it's extremely similar to this one that I found online, the plate carrier Reaper QRB Nero. Funny story about these plate carriers is they were actually donated to us from the CEO of Harley Davidson, the motorcycle company, about a week before we deployed, including hundreds of what they were calling 3++ ballistic plates, because apparently level 4 plates cannot be shipped internationally. So they made these 3++ plates to get by that, which was basically what we were told was level 4 armor. And as far as recommendations go, I would never suggest anything besides 3++ or level 4 out there. But ideally the composite, ceramic, Kevlar plates rather than the AR500 steel plates, because God, those are heavy. Now, I was there throughout the winter, so I really can only speak on what to bring and what I wish I had during winter. As far as spring and summer months, I feel like that's kind of self-explanatory, but the winters are brutal. Winter temperatures, you should expect anything from 23 Fahrenheit to around 35 Fahrenheit at the high. And some of y'all might be thinking, oh, that's really not that bad, but when you're sitting in a cold trench, you cannot have any fires going or anything like that. You get cold, man. This being said, one of the biggest issues we ran into out in the field out there was the mud. That Ukrainian mud is like a substance that defies all laws of physics. It was extremely hard and super soft and squishy at the exact same time, and I don't even know how that's possible. There were multiple instances where some soldiers would trip over the hard-packed ice, like these mounds, and they would twist their ankles or knees, or in some cases even break their leg. But then at the same time, soldiers were losing their boots while walking to position because the mud was so soft and sticky. Because of this, this when we would infill during a mission, the armor could only take us so far, so we had to foot it the rest of the way. And walking through that shit is miserable. Knowing what I know about the winters out there now, here's what I would have brought with me if I were to do it all over again. Handwarmers are crucial. Get the biggest pack you can and bring as many as you can with you. Some high quality, warm, water resistant socks. Anyone who's been in the field, whether it's training or real, will tell you that if you don't take care of your feet, you will be done. Some companies make like this wool nylon mixture that's pretty solid. On my first mission, I didn't know any better, so I put 3 pairs of regular socks on, thinking it would have the same effect. Oh my God, I was in pain. Thermals are something that I wish I had more of, you know, thermal underwear, things to put underneath your clothing. Keeping that body heat in is so important. I guess I didn't realize that. Although layers can be tricky, because if you have a hike to get to your position, you don't want to be sweating like crazy. Then you have to sit for 48 hours and you become ice cold because you're wet. Beanies, balaclavas, winter face masks are crucial, but they've got to be that thin material so you can fit your helmet over it. You can still put your ears on. Can't be that big, bulky cotton stuff. And last but certainly not least is some kind of thermal vision or night vision, preferably both. We were able to use some of the Ukrainian stuff that they had, some of their optics, but having my own nods or my own optics would have been very good. It is so dark out there. When there's not flares or enemy fire, you really cannot see anything. There's no light out there. So having some kind of other form of vision is so big, not just for the tactical reason, but just for moving, you know, getting in your bag, all of that. So that's all I put in this video. I still had more stuff in my kit as far as medical supplies and stuff like that, but I think this is a good place to leave off. This was actually a suggestion from somebody on Reddit who saw my video, which I thought was very cool, that first video. So if you guys want to see more of this stuff, I enjoy making it. It seemed like you guys like it, at least the first one. So drop a like, subscribe, do all that shit for me, and maybe leave some comments of what you guys want to see next. Thank you guys.